Artificial intelligence isn't just writing essays or generating art anymore. It's entering the battlefield. And that might be the most dangerous frontier of all. For decades, the idea of killer robots belonged to science fiction, the stuff of Terminator movies and dystopian novels. But in 2025, autonomous AI-driven weapons aren't just theory. They're being tested, deployed, and in some cases, making decisions that could mean life or death. The official line from militaries is always the same. These systems are decision support. They're there to advise humans, to process information faster than we ever could, to cut through the fog of war. But leaks, reports, and even whistleblowers are painting a darker picture. Some of these systems aren't just suggesting targets, they're recommending strikes. And once that line is crossed, how long before the machine is pulling the trigger itself? Think about the logic. Drones already fly themselves. They can loiter for hours over a battlefield. AI can already analyze satellite imagery, intercept communications, and identify heat signatures faster than any human. Stitch those capabilities together, and you don't need a soldier in the loop. You've got a weapon that hunts, tracks, and kills on its own. The appeal for militaries is obvious. No risk of losing your own troops, instant decisions, scalability. But the risks? They're enormous. First, accountability. When an AI drone bombs a wedding because it misclassified a group of people as insurgents, who's responsible? The programmer? The commander? Or no one at all? War crimes become harder to prosecute when the trigger isn't pulled by a human finger. Second, escalation. If one country starts using fully autonomous weapons, every rival has to respond. No general wants to be the one explaining why their soldiers died because they were fighting an army of machines with human reaction times. It's an arms race waiting to happen. And third, the possibility of errors spiraling out of control. AI systems are only as good as their data and their training. Bias, bugs, or adversarial manipulation can trick them. Imagine a drone swarm mistaking ambulances for enemy vehicles, or an algorithm flagging a school as a military base. Once unleashed, those mistakes become massacres. Governments insist there are safeguards, that humans remain in the loop. But leaked Pentagon documents suggest otherwise. Phrases like human on the loop and human out of the loop are showing up in internal briefings. Translation? In many cases, humans aren't making the decision, they're just monitoring. Or worse, they're completely removed from the chain. In Ukraine, reports surfaced of experimental AI-powered targeting systems being tested on the battlefield. In the Middle East, drone footage suggests autonomous loitering munitions, so-called suicide drones, are being deployed against vehicles and personnel. In East Asia, navies are experimenting with AI coordination for drone swarms that could overwhelm defenses in seconds. This isn't hypothetical. It's happening now. Supporters argue that AI weapons could actually make war more humane, that by being faster, more precise, and less emotional, machines could reduce collateral damage. That algorithms don't get scared, don't seek revenge, don't panic under fire. But that's a dangerously optimistic view. AI doesn't get scared, but it also doesn't have compassion. It doesn't hesitate before taking a human life. It doesn't know the difference between a farmer holding a shovel and a soldier holding a rifle unless the data told it so. And if the data is flawed, the results are catastrophic. The ethical debate is exploding. The United Nations has held multiple talks about banning lethal autonomous weapons systems, so-called laws. Human rights groups call them killer robots and warn that delegating death to machines crosses a line humanity should never step over. But major powers are dragging their feet. Why? Because nobody wants to be the first to give up the advantage. It's the nuclear dilemma all over again. Everyone knows the risks. Everyone knows the destruction that could follow. But no one wants to be the one left defenseless if their rival presses ahead. And unlike nuclear weapons, which require massive infrastructure and rare materials, AI weapons are built from software. That makes them far cheaper, more accessible, and harder to regulate. The barrier to entry isn't uranium enrichment, it's compute power and algorithms. That means not just nations, but non-state actors, terrorist groups, cartels, militias, could eventually get their hands on autonomous killing machines. Picture this: a swarm of cheap, 3D printed drones guided by open-source AI software, launched by a rogue group into a crowded city. No pilot, no human oversight. Just a programmed instruction: seek targets, attack, destroy. That's not science fiction. It's a nightmare scenario that experts warn could be possible within the decade. And here's the kicker: once AI systems are given autonomy in combat, they can start making decisions faster than humans can react. That creates the risk of flash wars, conflicts escalating in seconds because machines are responding to machines, triggering counterattacks before any human even knows what's happening. It's the stock market's flash crash applied to warfare. Except instead of money, it's lives. The controversy isn't just military, it's moral. Should a machine ever be allowed to decide who lives and who dies? Proponents argue we already delegate decisions to machines in other domains: self-driving cars, medical diagnostics, even financial systems. But war is different. War is the ultimate human responsibility. Taking life should never be outsourced to lines of code. Yet the momentum is clear. The technology exists. The incentives are powerful. And the political will to stop it? Weak at best. Every ban proposal at the UN gets stalled by the same countries racing to develop the tech. So we stand on a knife's edge. The dream of clean, precise, bloodless wars powered by AI versus the nightmare of unaccountable machines committing atrocities at lightning speed. Both are possible, and which future we get depends on decisions being made right now, mostly behind closed doors. Artificial intelligence is already shaping our future, but when it comes to war, it might be shaping whether we even have one. Because once machines start fighting machines, the question isn't just who wins the battle, it's whether humanity loses control of the war itself. Like, share, and subscribe to support this channel and the information we are making available.